Now, I think it's interesting when people use Jesus, of course, and especially Paul. Uh, there's there's it has been questioned for generations if Jesus was actually married or not, right? Who the powers to be, the people that wanted to control it, they made sure, as far as from what we know, 2,000 years ago, Jesus
Just
wasn't married.
no, he
We
wasn't.
we we don't
Until
know for sure.
right.
Now, as far as with Paul, Paul never got married because of what it was that he was doing. He couldn't take a wife on the road to, to go and slaughter Christians, and then to go and preach the gospel. So I think that I
Any
get what you're saying, but I think that
married? I don't know. Were any of the other 12 disciples married?
I don't think so.
You talking about 12 people that had a specific calling from the Lord.
And
Like,
that's
come
my
on
point.
now.
That's exactly my point. Everybody's purpose is not marriage.
That's not general. That's not the general person. We're talking about come on now.
My point. Thank you.
And and the thing is that and the problem is no fault to you mistaken. I love the takes that you give on here, no pun intended. But this is what be effing it up when we have these conversations. Then a married woman come on here talking about how it's cool to be single. Like nobody cares about Jesus and how it's cool to be single. My thing is, if that's not even your MO, why even bring it up? Because and the thing is, you do it a lot. You be like, you would say somebody will make a point, and then you will try to bring up a opposing point, and then act like that's not the point you're trying to make. Because if that's the point you was trying to make, you would look like a bad person. But stop it. You literally just said you brought up Jesus to make a point to where it's cool to be single, and you're married. You're a married woman. The thing is, we don't need married. People know that it's okay to be single.
You don't know what we need.
You're negating her
giving your
point.
point. Hold on. You are giving your point and your positions about how you feel about about this discussion. Do not feel the need to check me or correct me about my opinion. That is my opinion. And you cannot tell
First
me.
of all, you ain't my mama. I was about to let you talk. Relax, baby.
Y'all, let's make sure we remain respectful, y'all. Come
I
on.
wasn't even about to say nothing.
Period.
Yeah, she married, bro. You can't call her baby.
Talking a whole lot this show. I have not. And Coyle, you've been giving some good points. I've been listening. I have never interrupted you. I haven't said anything. So there is a when you say don't say what I'm saying, being in the position that I'm in, that doesn't make sense to me. I still have an opinion. And yes, I can say what I say because I have people in my life that are single. So
I didn't say you couldn't. I didn't say you couldn't say that. I said the problem is we have married people that's come on here and said it's okay to be single, and then that's the thing with women. Just like you said, people that's single. The thing is with women, everybody gets a trophy. So since I know people that's single, they may be watching. I don't want them to feel bad, so I'm gonna let them feel included instead of telling the truth. I get it.
That wasn't my intent. If that was how you felt and you took that, keep that to yourself, and don't try to put that on me, because that wasn't what I was doing. I was giving my opinion, and that was it. Just like I let you give your opinion, I didn't interject. I didn't contradict your opinion. I listened to it, and that was it.
Well, the thing is, you chose not to interject or contradict my opinion. That's what we're on a panel to. So don't tell me to keep it to myself. If I feel like you're wrong, I'm gonna say that.
All of us are not here to share the same opinion. That's the whole purpose of all of us being different individuals, because we're coming with different lenses, different experiences, and can give advice or our opinion that's going to resonate with some and maybe not others. So it wasn't my purpose to be on here to tell you that what you're saying, you shouldn't be saying, because it's not going to resonate with other people. That's not your point. Your point is for you to say what you need to say, and whoever that connects with, that's who it connects with. So to tell me not to say what I'm saying because you think that I'm trying to make other people not feel bad, when that wasn't even my purpose. That was just my opinion and my opinion alone. That's it.
Well, it's not
You can
about,
have
and
your best spirit. I'm done.
I do apologize if you were offended, but it wasn't about trying to agree with me or going with my perspective. It was about coming from a married person, no matter who it is. I don't think it's just helpful for the community. So I'm not saying that you can't say that, or that may not be your perspective, but it's just not helpful for our community when we're talking about marriages and we want to keep families together, to just come out of nowhere to bring up Jesus from 2,000 years ago who was single, to bring up a point to say people can be single, and then say, well, I'm not saying people should be single, but so that's all I was saying. It's
But
okay.
it's also
I
not
didn't
healthy to say, it's also not healthy to sit there and say, oh well, hey, the truth is you're probably going to get cheated on 5 million times and no one's probably ever going to be faithful to you. So there's a bunch of stuff that a lot of people have said that someone might find helpful, might not find helpful. At
Yeah,
the
that
end
was
of the
wild as hell.
at the end of the day, you know
but
what's
it's true.
helpful? But no, what's
It's not
true?
true.
Listen,
It's not
listen.
true,
The
bro.
What I
truth,
said was true.
here's the truth. Here's the truth. The truth is what Hank has stated, that you're going to go through trials and tribulations. I cannot tell you what your trial and tribulation will be, but this is
Exactly.
some of the things that you could do to be aware of it and stay logical during this process. And that is what's not being done. I could talk to you, Coyle, about the situation all day, but if I don't give you solutions on how to fix that shit, we all going to be running around with our chicken like a chicken with his head cut off. And I got nothing to do with the price of chicken in China either. Exactly. It doesn't make any sense. We got to stop focusing on the problem in our lives, start focusing on solutions. What is going to get this relationship lasting long? If he cheats, bring up a solution. If he doesn't cheat and you're just mad he lost his job, here's a solution. Stop focusing on the problem. Focus on the solution.
Maybe
The,
I
That was my point.
maybe
That was my point.
the
maybe
solution
I
is, oh, go
appreciate.
ahead, True. Go ahead, True. I know you've been trying to jump
Oh,
in.
sorry. So yeah, maybe I appreciate how Coel delivered it. I'm gonna speak for me personally because again, I'm gonna double down. I think you guys glossed over his point. Hink made a very good point, which is relevant. So did Viz. I think it's important to know who you're talking to. There are some people who need details. There's some people who need transparency. Peaks and valleys may sum it up for you. That may be how you digest information. But I think that it's too much representation of marriage and then it stops and then there's no development. There are things that are going to occur. I appreciate the fact that this brother said that 30-year span, you may have infidelity. That may occur. And I think we're trying to like, oh, well, you shouldn't speak to that. No, you should speak to that. There was a conversation me and Biz was having a few weeks ago about being entrepreneurs and how so many people married to the idea of wanting to be an entrepreneur. But when you tell them, yo, you got to kill, you eat what you kill. It ain't easy. This crap is going to have, different variables that are going to be harder. You may just want to keep a job and then you go into detail. So you can't always just particularly paint it so vague and then be like, oh, well, I got to trust you to be able to be honest. That's nonsense. So many times the couples do not speak to the raw of what a relationship is, to the hurt of what a relationship is. And I've seen just people kind of diminish this young man in the way he's delivering it, saying it's problematic. I don't think it's problematic. There are so many women that I've encountered that have never heard truth. So when they get into a relationship and pressure arises, they fold. They think it always and forever. They think he's not going to lie to me. They think that it's always going to be a job. It's always going to be benefits. It ain't rainbows and freaking sunshine all the time. So I believe that there's room for that too.